Good morning, stampers and crafters. Welcome to Tina's Crafty Ink Spot. Thanks for joining me today. I have a really fun little card for you today. I call it a pop-up spinner card. So I should have wound it up before I started. But we got this adorable little ladybug under here. We're going to wind her up. And then when your recipient gets their card and they open it, oh, they get this fun little ladybug that spins inside. Looks like it might be a little difficult, but it really isn't. It's a lot of fun and just a cute idea. I just love this stamp set too. So let's just jump right in and get to making it. So for this set today, we are going to be using this adorable Hello Ladybug set. And it comes with a coordinating punch. And to punch out these little characters. I just think it's adorable. Who doesn't love a ladybug, right? So let's go ahead and let's do our ladybug first. We need 2 of them, okay? So we're gonna punch out. I just turn mine over so I can see what I'm doing. We're gonna punch out 2 sets of wings in red here. You can also, with this set, you could actually stamp the red wings on white, and then your white dots are already on there. And you can do the same with the body, stamp it in black and then punch it out. I'm just going to do it an easy way where I'm going to punch it out and then we'll modify our little ladybug. So let's go ahead and get 2 ladybug bodies here. Oops, and we have a runner. Where'd it go? I think it fell in my trash can. Alright, we won't go chasing it. We'll just cut out another body. Trying to conserve my black here. What I could do is just have cut the piece, but and we need one more body. There we go. Now, I'm just going to take and connect the wings. Super simple. Grab our glue. And I'm just going to put a little bit where the wings meet the body. Oops, got a little bit of glue overlap there. It'll dry clear, so we're okay. And get our other set on here. And then for the spots, I'm gonna use, you could use a white gel marker if you have one. Or we have these adorable little, they're classic matte dots. And we're just going to use a few of those. We've got them in white, vanilla, gray, and black. So we're just going to use some white ones here. And they got 3 different sizes of, or 2 different sizes it looks like. So we'll just alternate a little bit here. Oops, didn't pick it up. Easy peasy, look at that. She's done. And we're going to do, because we need to have a 2-sided little character here. Hands aren't working too good today, it seems. But when I made this one this morning, I just knew I had to do a video, because when I first saw it, I thought, oh my gosh, how do you do that? But when you see how easy this is, you're really going to like making these. Now we got our little dots on, and we'll set them aside. Okay, let's set our little guys aside there. Now, for the card base, I used soft succulent, and below in the description, I'll do a printable PDF with all the measurements, all the scoring, and everything you need to do for this. So we have a piece of soft succulent. It's 8.5 by 5.5. That will be our card base. Let's go ahead and score it at 4.25. And there's our card base. I like to use my bone folder. I really like nice crisp folds. Okay, for the outside, we're going to use a piece of real red, and this is 4 by 5.25. And then we need the image piece, which I have the measurements written down. It is going to be 13/16 by 5 1/8. I just wanted a real thin red border. So let's do that. (13/16) by 5 1/8. And we are going to stamp some fun little images on this. Turn this around. I don't know, I seem to have a certain way I like my hinge to go. It'll work any way you want it to, but kind of get used to doing things by habit. Just hold it down a little bit. Let's do some of these leaves, and we are going to do the leaves in the soft succulent. And I'm using the Stamparatus for the big leaves because it's a big surface, and in case you have to, you know, re-stamp to get it clear. So let's just put some random leaves on here. Pick it up. Don't you just love this green? It's a nice subtle green. There's our first one. Oh, let me get a wipe. I'll wipe that off so I can position it where I want the next leaf. So let's put one, how about here? Let's go off the page just a little here. I love the detail in this leaf with all the little veins. It's really cool. Okay, let's just do it a couple more times so that we have it kind of random. Let's put one, how about there? This little ladybug set is just so adorable in the new mini catalog. I'll have links to it in my online store for you. Let's do one more little piece of leaf here. And I'm going to put it about right here. You could use your favorite designer paper here if you wanted to. I just thought I wanted to stamp some. I love these leaves for some reason, so there we go. Alright, now we're going to add some flowers, and believe it or not, when I did it, it came out really good, so I'm just going to do it again. We are going to actually use pumpkin pie. And the pumpkin pie against this green just looks so pretty. And now this one, I'm just going to put my flowers on a block. And then we're going to fill in some of the empty spots. You can leave it right in your Stamparatus because you've got the padding. Let's ink that up real good. Add some flowers. Don't those look pretty with the green? Love it. Add some more over here. Maybe one or two up here at the top. I really kind of want one in the middle there, but I don't want to get it on my leaf. So all I'm going to do is find myself a sticky note, and we'll just mask it a little bit. See if I can get my sticky notes off here. So I kind of want a couple in there, so maybe I'll just mask that a little. And let's mask our leaf here. Let's add a couple flowers in there. Make sure I don't get it on my leaf. I think I'm going to actually wipe off this one so I don't end up with a half a flower. Let's see how that turns out. Perfect. Look at that. Doesn't that orange look fabulous with the green? Alright, and we are done with that part. And then we're going to mount it onto the red mat we made. Use your favorite adhesive here. See, we just have a really thin mat on here, just to add a little accent of red. Okay. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of real red ribbon to this. Close this. Usually when I do ribbon around something, oops, get my glue down, I just add a little bit of tape on it. We're going to take our Stampin' Seal, run along our ribbon here. Then I'm going to put it off to one side. I guess my ribbon was a little long. We'll just trim it off a little. Fold it up. And I went ahead and already tied the bow. I made a little bow. It's a little, I couldn't find my bow tire, so it took me a while to tie this with my hand, so I didn't want to put you through that. I'm going to put a couple little glue dots on it. And let's just set it right on top of here. Looky there. The front is done. Isn't that pretty? Okay. And I'm just going to set that aside. Oh, you know what I forgot? Yeah, I'm just not totally with it. We are going to add a little bit of red rhinestone embellishments, just to pull some of that red out. Let's go ahead and add a few of those. And let's put one there. I love random, when you do random cards like this, where you can kind of just stamp randomly, add embellishments randomly. Sometimes my OCD doesn't allow me to do such random, but I liked this one today. Just a few little embellishments, and we'll set that aside. So now, put my flowers away. Let's get to the inside. Okay. So, on the inside of this, your measurement for your white base, okay? We have this white base that folds and lets our little guy spin. See there? So we're going to make that. So what you need for that is you need a piece of your basic white, and it's going to go ahead and stay 8.5, but we're going to do 5 1/4. Okay, so that it's just a little bit shorter. So let's get our trimmer. So we already got our 8.5. And let's trim it to 5 1/4. Okay, now, and all these score lines will be on the blog below. So your first score is going to be at 2.5. Now you could probably put these scores where you want them depending on the card you're making, but I found the measurements for this particular layout seems to work really well. So our first score is at 2.5. Then we're going to go to 4 1/4. And then we're going to go to 6. And there you have the inside. Seriously, it's that easy. Now you're going to take whatever you want this spin to be. It could be a circle. You could put a heart die cut there. Whatever, shape you want, as long as it fits between the two score lines there. So you can do whatever size you want as long as it fits in there, and it could be a heart. You can center it, you can pull it up top. I moved this one up because I wanted to write or put something there. I just hadn't decided what yet. So we've got that, and I've gone ahead and did that, and for mine I used a regular one of the layering circles, the scallop, and there we go. That is the entire inside. So now what we're going to do is, and then you fold it, so you kind of end up with a little M there, okay? And the point here is what comes upward at the hinge, right here, okay? So now we need to add our little spinner. If you have clear thread or thin thread, you can use that. I just use this metallic thread that we have. It's strong and it's sturdy and it works really well. So what we want to do is we're going to take some tear and tape. You need something very strong here. We're going to take a piece of tear and tape, and we're going to put it right over the score mark, that center score mark. Sorry, my hand is not wanting to work today. So now we have our tearing tape. We're going to release it. Okay, now take your thread, a piece of thread. I'm going to just cut it a little bit long. And you're going to stretch it tight right on the score mark. So stretch it tight across there. And, oops, I pulled it up. Where'd it go? Tiny little thing. So we want to stretch it tight across the opening, right on the score line, tack it down to the tearing tape. Okay? And make sure that's nice and tight. And then you're going to take another piece of tearing tape to hold it in place and go right over it. Right over the same piece of tearing tape. That will hold it in place. And before you put the second one on, make sure it's pulled taut, nice and tight. And then put your other tearing tape on. And there you go. And now you'll just trim off the excess. You could double this up if you wanted to, but this thread is really strong, so I think we're okay. So there we go. We have our thread going through there. Now we're going to take our little ladybugs. Okay, so this is your front. Remember, it folds outward. You're going to take one ladybug. And what I do is, again, I use the tearing tape wherever I just put, there it is. So I'm going to take a little piece of tearing tape, put it on each ladybug. Lost the start of it. There it is. We got it on both ladybugs. Take your tearing tape out. Now this first one, I'm going to slide underneath the wire and center it in the hole. Okay. You want to make sure it's centered so that it'll spin freely. And now, I'm going to take our other ladybug, take our tearing tape out, but I'm also going to add a little bit of glue. We want this to be nice and strong. And we're going to be gluing the two ladybugs together with the string in the middle. So I'm going to lay that down where my string is right over the center of my ladybug. And then I'll glue this little guy on there. Oh, oops, I moved him. That's the other benefit of using glue, is that you can shift a little bit. I'm going to make sure those stuck together real well. And there you go. You have your little ladybug in there. Look at that. Isn't she adorable? Okay, now before you put it on the card, let's add a greeting in there. And I'm going to just put the greeting on one side. And where did our stamp set go? Here she is. Oh, I lost one of my ladybugs earlier today. Well, there she is, stuck to my stamp case. Let's take the greeting. It says, may your greatest wish come true. And we're going to kind of use this as a birthday. So take that out. Usually with greetings, I like to do it in the Stamparatus so that if I have to stamp it a second time, I can do that. Could probably do this with a block if you wanted. Let's just center that right there. We'll just use our regular black memento. Perfect. Perfect. I felt that this looked a little bit bare. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to do some more random stamping on there. So I'm actually going to still use my Stamparatus because it's got the cushion for stamping. And I'm going to grab our little orange, our flowers that we did orange on the front. I'm going to take some of those. And I'm just going to set this down here. And we are going to do some orange flowers. So I'm just going to kind of randomly put them, kind of doing them in a row, and then I'll show you. We're going to do a few highlights, so maybe turn it a little bit. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Now, in the same set is a couple of tiny little dots. So what I'm going to do is we're going to bring some of the soft succulent in. I'm a messy crafter today, aren't I? Alright. And let's just add some of these random little soft succulent dots. Kind of ties it all together. You could put another greeting on this side if you wanted to instead of the flowers. I just kind of like the idea of the flowers. And there we go. We've decorated the inside. We've got our little ladybug in there. Now to connect it to the card base. So you want your card to adhere well. So turn it over and let's use some more tear and tape. And you're only going to want tape on the sides. I'm probably going to use tear and tape and glue. I kind of like, the reason I do that is usually with just the tear and tape, once it's down, it's down. If you add a little bit of glue along with it, you can kind of move it if you need to. And often I need to, because sometimes things just don't go on there square, so I like the idea of being able to shift it a little. Another piece of tear and tape there. Okay, and no glue here, okay? So make sure where you had done your string that there's no sticky there, because that will, when they close, it'll stick your card together. if you accidentally have some sticky left there, all you have to do is take your embossing buddy and go right over that. And any sticky that was there is now not. The powder made it not sticky. So, let's go ahead and release. So, this is going to leave our regular, you know how we have a gap around the edges? This is going to leave a gap around the edge on the inside. Because of the way the fold is. Even though it's the same width. It's not the same height, but it's the same width. But with the fold, it'll... So I'm going to add... Let's do this side first. I'm going to add a little bit of glue right over my tape. Everything. Go ahead and do this side. Now, when you attach it, remember that you're going to have a little bit of a frame. So just even out your frame there. Tack it down. And then the same on the other side. Remember, you're going to have a little bit of a frame. And tack it down on both sides. So this part in the middle is not attached. Just make sure you're nice and tacked down there. And there you go, look at that. Okay. Alright, let me wipe. I got a little bit of glue on there from my finger. If you don't have a glue eraser, great investment. You just take it and it gets any little dabs of glue you happen to get on something. I kind of live for it once I found one. There you go, it's all fixed. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take my bone folder. Make sure I've got all my glue off there. And it was messy, wasn't it? Alright, and I'm going to take my bone folder, just kind of give it a little bit of reinforced folding there. Okay, let's get our card front, and I'm just going to glue that directly down. Doesn't that red and that green look great together? Love it. And we've got our card front done. And for the greeting, there is not a happy birthday in this set. There's my friend, hello, it's a good day. You can bug me anytime. But I wanted a happy birthday because a good friend of mine is a big Ladybug fan. I've never known anybody that had statues and everything of ladybugs. So I thought, what a perfect set to give her a birthday. So I went to the Paradise Palms because I really liked the script on the happy birthday there. So that's the one I'm going to use. I'll just attach it to a block. See if I have some scrap white here. Yeah, we got some scrap white. Let's do that. I'm going to do it in black. I probably just stuck my head right in the camera, didn't I? Okay. So we got our little happy birthday there. And I think I'm going to give it just a little bit of a red frame. Let's see if I got any scrap red here. We'll probably just do it here. So I'm going to trim this. It's small enough you can kind of do it by hand. And now I'm going to glue it down to the red. And then we'll just trim it out. And we have our little happy birthday greeting. Let's go ahead and add that with some dimensionals. A couple dimensionals on there. And I'm going to kind of do it to where the red meets up with the matte. Kind of makes it carry through. Let's, about right there. Let's do that. And look at that. So now, before you mail the card, you go in here and you wind up your little ladybug. Wind her up really good. And then close it up. And then you'll stick it in your envelope. And when they open it, watch the little ladybug. She'll go spinning. Isn't that fun? Now, if it were me, I would go ahead and probably carry this design right here, the leaves and the flowers, onto my envelope flap. I think that would look cute. But look how simple that whole card was. I mean, it looks like it would be complicated, but it wasn't, was it? And there you go. You have, I call it a pop-up spinner card. I've done spinners on the front of cards. I've just never really did this one. So I thought I'd share it with you today. I hope you enjoyed today's card. I will put a printable PDF with all the measurements and the score marks and the supplies used today. And I hope you have a fabulous, happy Stampin' Day. Stay safe out there. Bye-bye now.